What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica and I talk about frugal living, fitness, motivation, and minimalism. In this video, I'm going to be going over my February 2021 budget. So first, you've got to know how much money is coming in, and then you can determine how much money needs to go out, and then that'll give you leftover to save and invest with. It's no secret how much money military people make. So I have no issues sharing those numbers with you, with like the stimulus and like federal taxes being withheld and not withheld, and now we got to pay them back, and everyone's paycheck has been fluctuating a little bit. For this month, this is how much I'm getting, and that's what I'm working with. So first is my HughesNet, and I pay $20 a month for HughesNet, basically just to keep my physical equipment in my house. Next, I have my home phone. This is the phone I keep in my house back in Alabama. We don't have cell phone service in Alabama, so if we need a call for 911 or there's a fire or something, we need a landline. So this is a landline phone that we have for those emergencies, because we can't like text with the cops or anything. So this month it actually went up a little bit, so it is $78.28, and I have my bills scattered in a way so I know how much it's going to be before the date hits that I want to pay it. And you can change the due date of your bills to line up with your paychecks. That's what I did with all of these, like my phone, my car insurance. You can change the due date. Titan grooming. So Titan gets groomed about every 6 weeks. He runs around outside and we live in the country, so keeping him nice and trim keeps everybody happy. So this is $60 and it includes a tip for the groomer because they're great. Okay, next I budgeted some dog food to send to my mom. I got a couple cases of canned dog food. It's just easiest to have Amazon deliver bulk items like that. It's easier to have Amazon deliver to a house where we live in the middle of nowhere than, you know, going to the store and loading it up. It's really heavy. Do that. So for the fun money, I give myself $80 a month, and that is if I was in debt, I wouldn't have any fun money, maybe like $20 or something. But this is just if I want some spending money, or I want to go do something or buy a t-shirt or something, I've got that money. And with everything, I put a buffer of about $20. What is that? No, thank you. So I have a $20 buffer just in case an unexpected expense comes up, or like something I budgeted for is a little bit different, a little bit off. And it's a good transition period, you know, during the 2 weeks until I get my second paycheck. So that is everything I plan to pay for and have cash. And this money, the fun money and the buffer, I don't like go into an ATM and withdraw it. I keep it in my bank account, and I just have my debit card that I use to spend money. So then I just subtract all these expenses from the first of the month from my first of month paycheck. So once I subtract those expenses from my paycheck, I transfer the rest to a separate bank account that I have. You don't have to do this. It just helps me separate with my behavior things that I want to save and invest with, and things that I'm paying bills and spending money on. So I transfer the difference, this amount, to my Navy Federal Credit Union bank account. That takes about a day. And then I transfer the rest to my Navy Federal Credit Union bank account. And from there, I'll separate it into my sinking funds and my investment account. So the first one is my Roth IRA. To calculate that number, I just Google what is 15% of, and then I'll insert whatever my paycheck was. So for this one, it was $2,597.83. So that's what I'll put in Google, and it came out to $389, and I'll round it to, it came up to $389.67. And I'll just round it up to $390, right? And then Thompson Gas. So we have central heating in my house back home in Alabama, but we also have gas heating in the log cabin part of the house. So that in the winter months, it's about $300 a month. Well, it's $300 usually for 100 gallons of gas, propane, to heat the old part of the house. So I keep money in there because I want to have the money ready to go when it needs to be filled, so we don't have to be scraping up money from the emergency fund at the last minute. During the winter, every month or every other month, it'll need to be filled up again. So that's my sinking fund for the gas. Next is the pool fence. So this is a long story, I won't get into it, but because of the stimulus and everything, my mom owed the IRS some money. So I'm in a position to help my family out. So I paid the IRS that money and I pulled it from the pool fence fund. And we're getting estimates back that are higher than the original estimates we got. So I also want to bump up the pool fence fund to probably $10,000, and that's just material and delivery. We're going to install it ourselves. I have a family member who's willing and able to do that for us, which is awesome. So anyway, I'm putting additional money in the pool fence fund. Currently it's at about $6,000 from $8,000. So I'm going to save that for last because I want the most money to go in there, whatever's left. So it'll make sense in a minute, hopefully. All right, for Titan, I'm just gonna put 20 bucks in here. He's a 7-year-old Pomeranian. If you didn't already know, he's awesome. He's getting up there in age, so there's gonna come a time when he'll need like his teeth cleaned again, and he's had like a snake bite. I want to be ready to take him to an emergency vet if I need to on the weekends. I don't want to do the pet insurance because I really do think it's a ripoff. But of course it depends on the person, what they want, and the animal and their needs. But I rather just have the cash ready to go instead of paying the vet monthly. You know, I'll have the money ready to go if an emergency comes up rather than paying the insurance. All right, whip. So I've decided I want to save $20,000. I've decided I want to save between $15,000 and $20,000 cash for a car when the car I have now is no longer reliable. I'm never going to sell the car or trade in the car I have now, so I need to save up, that extra money for a new to me, like a used car. And I'd like to get an SUV, so it might be a little bit pricey. As I'm doing this, I'm just subtracting this money from the amount that I transferred. Since I'm really focused on the pool fence fund right now, I really want to put most of my money into that. So I'm just going to put like $100 in the whip fund. And then home repair, it's a pretty large duplex house that I live in right now. And so that's if an appliance breaks, a refrigerator breaks, a leak happens, something that it's kind of one of those things. It's not if it'll happen, but when. And I don't want to pull from my emergency fund for like a home repair. So I'm just going to put $100 in that just because there's not a lot of money in there right now. So I've got about $1,500 left over, and I'm going to put that in the pool fence fund, and that covers the rest of that. And as y'all can see, this doesn't have to be a complicated thing. It's just addition and subtraction. I've got that, this is how much money that comes in. This is how much money I'm getting. And then I just estimate how much I'm going to need for that month. This month is, a little bit different because Titan is getting a little haircut. That doesn't happen every month. So I just need to remember that and budget for it. People who budget and are frugal, we spend money, okay? I'm going to drop 10 grand on a pool fence. So just because people budget and know where the money's going doesn't mean that they don't spend money. In fact, they spend a lot of money. And this is a way for frugal people to budget, spend money, and not owe any money. This is how we don't go into debt and we spending money left and right. Sometimes there's a bad connotation with people who budget are really cheap and stingy with their money, but that really isn't the case at all. I'm just getting fired up. I want to talk about that. So that's my first paycheck right there. Boom. And then that's halfway done. So then we're moving on to the 15th of the month, and I'm not going to know how much that is like to the penny until about 7 days prior, but it's going to be within a couple dollars of this. All right. So I'm just going to, and I'm doing this new on like my new little MacBook. I think that's what it's called. It's got a little Apple symbol on it. So it doesn't have Word, but it's really shiny and new, and I really like to edit. Edit's like a creative outlet. So anyway, all right, mid-month pay. This is how much I have, right? And then I'm just subtracting my bills from that money. First one, car insurance. This one is really cheap since I'm deployed, so this is just about $30 a month. All right, next, iPhone. That is only like $10 a month. Babbel internet, that is my internet I have while I'm deployed, and it's actually a lot better than HughesNet in Alabama. The Wi-Fi in the South is horrible. You probably haven't heard it here first, but it's true. Okay, Babbel internet, $98 a month. We have about 10 to 14 feral cats that we feed because we live in the middle of nowhere and they're great cats. So we feed them, and a couple of them just turned into house cats. So that, and then dog food for my mom's dog, Sadie and Titan. So I'm gonna budget $50 for that. Okay, fund money, $80, and then my buffer. Some people, they'll put a buffer that is an entire month's worth of bills, like they keep that amount in their bank account at all times, just in case a number was wrong or they forgot something. I'm not really that extreme. I don't have a lot of bills. I just have like the basics. All right, then it's really simple. I just subtract my bills from my mid-month pay. Then I transfer the difference to Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay, moving on to sinking funds and savings. Okay, so my Roth IRA, remember, it's 15% of my mid-month paycheck, which is $390, and I've already reached my cap right now for the tax year, so I'm saving this money in my Roth IRA savings account in my Navy Federal Credit Union. With Navy Federal Credit Union, you can have a lot of savings accounts in addition to your checking. So that's how I organize my savings, my sinking funds that I save for. So until like 16 April, I'm going to be saving the money, and whatever I've got, I'm going to drop it in 1 April to my Roth. I might be able to do it before then. Like, I think there's an option in Vanguard where I can select the next fiscal year or the next tax year. So if I can, I'll do that. All right, then Thompson Gas, $150. And then pool fence fund, we'll save that for last because I want to put the maximum in there that I can. Okay, Titan, I believe we did $50. $20. Titan, we're gonna do $20. Whip, we'll do $100. Okay, home repair, we'll do $100. Next, I'm just gonna see what the difference is, and you can play with the numbers. You know, it doesn't have to be. It's whatever you want it to be, right? So, like, I'll look at this, and if I don't like how much I've got going in the pool fence fund, I'll increase or decrease another number. So this is why you do it a month in advance, so it's so you know where everything's going. Okay, so I've got about $1,500 left over, so I'm gonna put the difference into my pool fence fund, and then next month I'll get this up to $10,000, and I'll just keep it at $10,000. Like I mentioned, that new estimates we're getting, it's a bit higher than they were like 6 months ago, so don't know what that's about. But anyway, I just want to be ready to go. Probably wait till I get back from this deployment to speak to them in person, but we reached out to like 4 different fence companies, and not all of them deliver. I can do a more detailed video on that in another video, but yeah, so saving for that. All right guys, that is my budget for this month. Let me know what you think, if you want me to go in more detail about any of these things, but about, you should be budgeting a month out. Every month is different, and what you really need to know is that the things that you have to pay for every month, like your car insurance and your phone bill, I recommend splitting that up between the month. Like, don't put things that are due on like random days of the month that you get paid. If everything's due on like some random day of the month, you're going to forget about something. It's going to be difficult to budget for it. So I recommend, if you can, get things due around your paychecks and then budget it from there. And some of these I have automatic payment set up, but I still go in and pay it. I pay it before the automatic payment hits. So if you pay it before the automatic payment hits, the automatic payment, it's not going to happen. But you still get the benefit of the 5% discount or whatever it is. So those are just some quick little tips with that. And let me know what you think if you have any questions about the budget. And let me know if you want to know how much I have total in my sinking funds, anything like that. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye. I do want to say I spent like 5 days editing a video about investing $1,500 in Vanguard. And I had to edit the footage so much with, my account information and stuff. But by the end of it, the footage wasn't usable because the video and audio didn't match. So I'm going to have an investment video coming for you guys. I'm just going to figure out an easier way to record it and show you everything, but also protecting my account information. So, yep. See you next time. Bye.